Hey fellow keto goers, this is Nicole, also known as Grand Coco, here to share some recipes with you. I have some time. I have today off. I'm not working. My husband went to regrip his clubs. He'll be gone for a little bit. My daughter's working, my son's watching TV. So I figured we'd play with it a little bit and share some stuff that I've been playing with. So one of the first recipes, all right, the first one I'm going to show you is one that my friend posted on Facebook. My hair looking wonky. One that she posted on Facebook, and it was for sausage muffins, and it looked really good, and I was like, I can Ketofy that. So I will tag her after this is posted, but the original was with Italian sausage and biscuit and some cheese and eggs, and it looked great and easily Ketofied, and it was. It took me one try. So I will show you what you're going to need to make this. Okay, so what you're definitely going to need is some shredded cheese. The original recipe called for shredded cheddar. I'm using my beloved Chihuahua because it has 0 carbs and it's already pre-shredded. You can shred your own. I'm just lazy. So we're going to use some Carb Quick, ground pork, and eggs. Okay, so those are the must-haves. The original recipe called for ground Italian sausage. I'm just going to make my own because in researching it, of course, the ground pork is pure. It's ground pork. If you buy the Italian sausage, you can get it and it'll work and it'll be fine. But a lot of them, I should say, most of the ones that I found already had sugar in it. So this way I can make it myself. So hence comes the crap ton of ingredients I'm going to show you, but you do not need to do this. You could just use the ground pork or buy Italian sausage. I'm just being difficult. So here's some stuff you could use. So I've got chives, paprika, vinegar, garlic powder, onion powder, Italian seasoning, salt. Ignore that cream cheese. That's for something different. I've got the sucre syrup, the keto honey alternative. There's some sugar-free Mrs. Butterworth's. Not the purest ingredient, but it'll work. Or I have some stevia. So these 3 I'm showing you, but I'm not going to use. If you want to make homemade pork sausage and you want to make sweet sausage, that's what you could do to sweeten it up. One of the 3. You could use the honey syrup, the maple syrup, or the powdered sweetener. I am not going to sweeten it, so I'm just showing you that's what you could do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add onion powder, some Italian seasoning right there, garlic, paprika, vinegar, and I'm just going to make an Italian sausage blend, so to speak. Not real strong. This is, so my mother-in-law and my grandmother-in-law, my husband's Hispanic, so this is ground chile de arbos, and they started us on this years ago, and this is just dried chile peppers. We love everything spicy, but ground chili peppers, and we roast them outside and then chop them up, and we have our own chili flakes. So they, God rest their souls, they both have passed, and this original container was made years and years ago, like, I don't know, 20 years ago or something, by each of them have made some and added it to this, and we just continue to add to it before it's gone. So we always have a little bit of Grandma and Grandma Francis in there. So anyway, that's what that is. So if you like hot sausage, you can add that. I'm not going to add that either. I love hot sausage, but for this recipe, I'm not doing it. And then I have some salt and pepper. Okay, long-winded, get it? I know. So let's do the sausage portion first. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to make the sausage. Again, it's just a pound of ground pork. And this is actually a little more than a pound. I think it's like 1.5 pounds. But I'm just going to do the whole thing. So you got your ground pork, 0 carbs, good to go. And then you're just going to add whatever you want to it. And I'm not measuring. I'm just adding what I want to make my Italian sausage out of. So some salt. I'm using Himalayan pink salt. Italian seasoning of your choice. A little bit of paprika. And again, you can add hot stuff, you can add sweet stuff, some chives, a little garlic, a lot of garlic, little onion powder, and again, you could chop onions and stuff too, but this is a way to get the onion flavor with no carbs. What? And then some vinegar of your choice. I'm using apple cider, and that just kind of gives it that little, kind of like a little tang to it. It makes it like sausagey to me. I don't know. So I'm going to mix this all up. All the seasonings are in there. Using the best tool you have is your hands. If you're oogie about this, of course, use a spoon, but we're not too bad about this. I like using my hands to cook. Okay, and you're just going to mix it really well. Okay. And then what you're going to do is get it all mixed. Okay, then what you're going to do is you're going to take this over to the stove and you're going to cook it. Just cook it up, crumble it up until it's finished, and then we'll be back. All right, I'm just cooking up our ground pork, now sausage. And you're just going to cook it up until it's all cooked all the way through. I didn't, as you can see, you don't have to add any additional fat to the pan. I just threw it in the pan, and the pork's got enough fat, it won't stick, and use a non-stick pan, you'll be all right. So you're just going to cook this all up until it's cooked thoroughly. Oh, you know what? I never added pepper. Let's do that. I don't think I added pepper to the beginning. I love pepper. Pepper and seafood. Two things that I didn't like until I was in my 40s. I always ordered everything without no pepper. Like black pepper, I mean. Now I love black pepper. Like I add an obscene amount to my food usually. Okay, so I'm going to cook this up. When it's finished, we'll be back. Just get it nice and brown and cooked all the way through. All right, so my sausage is almost done. I have my 4 eggs in a bowl, and my muffin tin is sprayed with cooking spray, just so they don't stick. And so I have my Carb Quick. Now, the Carb Quick, you can buy it at Walmart. I tried this recipe with just almond flour, and it just wasn't quite the same. But the Carb Quick works. It is, for 1/3 of a cup, it is 90 calories, 6 grams of fat, and 2 net carbs. And the original recipe calls for a cup of Bisquick. I'm using, of this Carb Quick, I'm going to use 1/3 of a cup. So it's a little bit less, and it came out really good. So let me get my little measuring. Okay. I'm still using 4 eggs, just 1/3 a cup of the powdered, or the binder. So 1/3 of a cup of that, and I guess a little heaping cup. Okay. And I used 1.5 pounds instead of 1 pound of the pork. Okay, so you got 1/3 of a cup of that, and then our shredded cheese, whatever kind you want. I'm using 1/2 cup instead of a full cup. 1/2 cup. Yep. There we go. All right, and then I'm going to stir this up, and then I'm going to get the pork in. Okay, I've got my 4 eggs, 1/2 cup of cheese, shredded, and 1/3 of a cup of the Carb Quick mixed together. I'm now going to add the sausage. Now, I used 1.5 pounds or so of the ground pork, made my own sausage, and I'm going to use that plus whatever grease it made. Just pour it all in. You don't have to drain it. Just get it all in the pan, or I mean in the bowl. Stir that bad boy up. Get it very incorporated. Yum. I would eat it like this. I know the eggs are raw though, but it looks so good. Okay. Then we're gonna try to get 12 out of it. I'm really bad at this part, but so I'm gonna use a 1/4 cup spoon, or measuring device and add it like that. And then what I will do is once I get all this in, this is what I did the last time I made them. My practice trial run is I did the quarter cup and it almost fills it. And then I just top the rest with whatever's left. Okay, now just go through and the ones that you didn't have a huge scoop full, you could top them more. And that is it. That was so easy and they're delicious. And you know, if you work real quick, like I'm trying to, the egg stays kind of damp, so it'll solidify once it's in the oven versus cooking while you, because my pork was hot when I poured it into the egg mixture. But because you have the carb quick, which is the flour, the carb quick, the cheese in there, as long as you're pretty quick, you won't cook the raw egg. So now it's kind of goopy and wet, and as it cooks, the egg solidifies, the cheese melts, and it sticks everything together. All right, so we're going to stick this in the oven. I have the oven at 350, and you're going to cook it for anywhere between 18, 20 minutes, around there. So I'm going to go stick it in. It's done when it's set, and the top is a little golden, okay? All right, our beautiful sausage muffins are done. They look perfection. They came out really good. Let's see if I can do this with one hand pulling out. Yep. Don't they look delicious? They come out so good. They're substantial too. They're really, really substantial. They're still hot. Good. They're delicious. I would eat them as is. They're delicious. They're moist. But you could top them with, which I've done, with the old, not today, I guess with my practice version, I topped them with guacamole. I just like a dip, but give it a try, you'll love it. And thanks for sharing your recipe so I could ketofy it.